Well, good morning. I am so thankful for the opportunity to be here today and share pieces of my story. Today I'm going to share three things with you in a few stories about my life that bring to light three words: magical, colorful, love. And I'm going to share about how I stood at some really important choice point moments of my life, and I chose to do it differently than I had before. And as I stood in these moments of my life and doing it differently, I started unchecking those boxes and getting rid of that script that I had been following, and I started stepping into living my authentic life and stepping into living my purpose. And as I was affirming these affirmations for myself and discovering that I am magical, I am colorful, I am love, I realized that we all are. We all have this within us, and these treasures of authenticity that we all have, when we open up to living our lives and affirming that we are magical, colorful, love, we are able to step into experiencing the freedom of possibilities for our lives, and we're able to step into experiencing abundance. And so as I was discovering these things for me, I realized there's something really important about authenticity, and it's trust. That when we actually start trusting ourselves, start trusting what we know, and stop looking for all the guidance out there, who I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to do, and we trust ourselves, we trust our intuitive knowing is leading the way, we're able to live that authentic life, live into our purpose. So today, through my storytelling, I hope that you too will affirm for yourself that you are magical, you are colorful, and that you are love. Well, let me share a little bit with you about how I discovered that I am magical. Some years back, I came to this point in my life where all of a sudden my life was crumbling all around me. Everything that I carefully crafted my life to be, I'd nurtured and followed the script. I'd done it all. All of a sudden it was crumbling around me. I felt lost and confused. I felt unfulfilled. I felt very lonely. And I didn't know what to do. And I was very scared. And I had followed the script, I checked all the boxes, I did it rather well. I had gone to college and I graduated, I got a job, and when I was 26, I was making six figures, and I bought a house when I was 27, I got married and started my first company when I was 29, and then we got the bigger house and the cars, and we even had the dog. And then I got pregnant, I became a mom, something I was so excited to be, and I didn't skip a beat. We were living the dream. We weren't just keeping up with the Joneses in many ways, we were the Joneses. But the thing was, is that it wasn't working. Not for me. I was scared. And I was like, wow, all that, you will be happy when, you will be happy when, you will be happy when. It wasn't sustainable for me. And inevitably, everything started crumbling for me, and it had to, and I needed it to, so that I could rise up. But in that space of crumbling, as I was lost, I really did feel very dull. I had no spark. I certainly didn't feel magical. I was not shining, and I didn't even love myself. And in this space of what am I supposed to do for me, I started doing some really critical things differently. And as I stood at a very important choice point moment, do I stay or do I go? Do I stay or do I go? I did choose to dissolve my marriage. But one of the things that I did really differently during these really big life decisions I was making is that I stopped seeking the court of public opinion to help me make decisions for my life. I used to make decisions like this. I'd stand at the intersections of my life, those forks in the road, and be like, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? Okay, and then I gather up all this data, and I'm like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. So the difference was, is I allowed myself to be okay in not that quick snap decisions. I allowed myself to be okay in the gray area of decision making, and I started trusting and tuning into what I knew, what was appropriate and healthy for me. And it made all the difference. And I started orienting my life this way. And I started seeking out habits and that would nourish this newfound trusting, tuning in to my inner guidance, my intuition, my GPS system. And I started realizing that, wow, there's so many things I didn't know about myself. I didn't allow it to rise up. I started getting comfortable and quiet. I started meditating. I started journaling. And I started seeking out alone space. This was totally different for me in my busy, busy, busy world. And I loved it. And what I discovered was something so cool. I discovered that I actually loved myself. This was very new for me. And I started liking myself. I stepped into living into this authentic self-love. Like, whoa, how cool is that? And during this season of my life of trusting, tuning in, I woke up one January morning in 2009, and I was woken up, and I woke up and I had this message circulating in my consciousness. Get up and start writing, get up and start writing, get up and start writing. And because I was starting to really trust, okay, these messages I was receiving, I was to step into, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start writing. So I got up one morning and, guided by the intuitive spark of my knowing, I walked down the dark hallway to my office and I turned on the light and I sat down at my desk and I started writing. It's totally off script now, I'd never done that before. And the thing is that I didn't have to have it all figured out. I wasn't like, well, tell me why I'm doing this. Tell me, I didn't know all the data of how this is gonna happen. I just knew that I needed to start writing. And I started trusting. Every day that I kept writing and trusting, things started becoming clear to me. And I started understanding why I was meant to write. And I started trusting myself. And during that time, and this was 4 years ago actually, come January, this was 4 years ago, and I just released my third children's book last weekend, and I'm so thankful I answered that call to get up and start, because it has made all the difference in my life, and I've never felt more me, and living a reflection of who I am. And during that time of my life, I had a good girlfriend of mine, she gave me this coin. I had a rebirthday that year, and she gave me this coin, it's a silver coin, it says, I am magical. And I carried this coin, this affirmation with me for a very long time, and as it embedded into my consciousness, I started affirming for myself, I am magical, amazing. And this inner magic, this make it happen magic that I was realizing I had, that I had always had, it had always served me very well. But now I was combining my make it happen inner magic with my intuitive spark, and they were coming together, and I was discovering magical new possibilities for my life. And the thing is that I also started discovering, wow, this isn't just me. It's not just me that has this inner magic. We all have this inner magic. We all have inner magic, that make it happen, whatever it is for you, that make it happen magic. We combine it with our intuitive spark. Incredible possibilities open up for us to live into our authenticity. So what is calling you? What are you being woken up to? Get up and start. Get up and start. Get up and start. So as I was discovering that I am magical, I discovered something really cool. I'm actually colorful too. I used to feel all beige. When I was going through that time of my life, I felt so beige. I felt like every color of my house, it was beige. That was how I was living my life. But I realized, oh my gosh, I'm not beige. I am so colorful. I have this vibrant light to shine out into the world. I just had to discover how I make my true color shine. You see, and I grew up in this household. I grew up with 3 older brothers. I was the only girl, and I was the youngest. So I wanted to be like my brothers. I wanted to do anything that my brothers did. And the thing was that I often did feel misunderstood, dismissed, unheard. So I found sanctuary in this make-believe world, this imaginative world that I created in my room. And there in my room, I would line up all my dolls, and they would just watch me, and they would listen to me, and they adored me. And there, in the privacy of my sanctuary, I would sing my songs that I had written for my dolls, and they loved it. And I loved it. I felt so free, because I was expressing myself through the songs that I was writing. And they liked it. Now this freedom of excitement that I had in my room, it was really, never nurtured, it wasn't encouraged, and so it always was over there. I always pushed it back over there. But it was always lingering with me. And as I went through the course of my life and my adolescence, into my teen years, as I got into my adulthood, I didn't choose to seek out opportunities to do all the activities that I had been, really guided into and molded into my whole life. I actually wanted to rediscover that childhood passion. And so I sought out opportunities to experience that freedom, that shine that I had in my room. And so even my first job out of college, I went and worked at a resort where I got to sing and dance. It was so fun. And then as I got in alignment with that achievement-driven career that I got myself, that I wanted. I was such a goal-oriented person, achievement. And every once in a while, I was on that path, this voice would come in and say, Catherine, remember when you used to like to do that? And every once in a while, when I worked up the courage, I went to a coffee shop twice, and I sang my songs, and it felt great. But because I was in this space of, well, it's not really on the goal board, because I didn't put it there, I let it go back over there. And now these years later, or a few years later, I had this choice point moment of my life, this light bulb moment, at a karaoke club. So we're at this karaoke club for one of my girlfriend's birthdays, and we're all there, and all my girlfriends like, oh, Catherine, you need to come and sing. It's so fun when you sing. Oh, you gotta do it. And I was like, no, I'm so bad. And that voice was playing in my head. You're not so bad, Catherine. You haven't done it in a long time. You sing flat, you're off key, all that stuff, all that chatter, that ego, you're not so good stuff. I was hearing that. So I was like, no, girls, I don't want to do it. And then my friend Jennifer, she steps up, like she's just watching me, probably, what is that? She steps up, she goes, Catherine, this isn't American Idol, it's karaoke. Have fun with it. Ding, 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 like this light bulb moment. Have fun with it? Oh. So I stood there, what should I do? What should I do? And I had this choice to make. I could continue doing what I had been doing, which was nothing, or I could lean into the possibility that this might be fun for me again. I might find joy in it again. Take all that pressure off of me and just have fun with it. Kind of novel concept, right? And so that's what I did. I decided to have fun with it again. And over the years, slowly that valve of creativity, that channeling started coming through me, and I started hearing the melodies again, and the lyrics started coming to me for new songs as I started expressing my life again through the written word. And that felt really cool. And then a while ago, I went on this guided meditation with my shaman. And she drummed me into this deeper part of my consciousness, and she was just drumming. And she got me to this, I got to this place on this journey, in this meditation where I was standing in a hallway, and there were doors on all sides. And I selected one, and I opened it up, and I walked in, and there I was standing in my childhood bedroom, and my green and white kingdom sheets, curtains, and my bedspread. And there I was sitting in the corner of my room in my rocking chair, singing songs and reading stories to my dolls. And I saw myself so happy, so vibrant, I was shiny. And that afternoon, I came home, and that rocking chair that had been in the rafters in the garage of my house was taken down, and it was put in my living room where it sits right now. And every time I see it, it reminds me of who I was, who I am, who I've always been, and who I'm still becoming. Because you see, that is what I do now. I sit with children, and I read my stories, and we sing my songs, and we all shine together. I just had to get back in alignment with who I've always been. And this colorful me, this passion in me, it's just my orange color. We all have this incredible rainbow of light to shine. We just have to figure out what our true colors are, or how to make our true colors shine. When we trust when we know where we belong, we feel grounded, when we burst with excitement, when we trust ourselves, when we experience love, when we speak our truth, when we visualize our dreams, and we open up to incredible possibilities for our lives, because you see, we are all colorful. Everyone is colorful. How are you making your light shine? And one last little piece, as I discovered I was magical and colorful, I discovered that I am loved. And I discovered that I'm loved is who I am, is I am love affirmation. Now that I stopped checking all the boxes and following the script, I realized there isn't anything that we have to do. We have to do to be who we are, and we are loved. We don't have to step into it. We don't have to do anything to deserve love, to receive love, to experience love. It is who we are. And if we affirm for ourselves that we are loved, we are able to recognize that we have a choice point moment in every moment about how we are in our being and how we reflect ourselves and ripple ourselves out into the world. Because we all have a ripple effect. Every day, what you think, what you say, and what you do, you create ripples with that energy that you are. So it is up to you to choose what you say, what you think, and what you do. And you go, oh, is it that simple? Yeah, it's that simple. Because the thing is the simplicity of how we can actually shift the consciousness of our planet is on an individual basis. If we all choose to manage consciously what is circulating in our minds, we have the control, we have the choice. We have the choice of what we say. Do we say kind things out of our mouth? Or do we say filth about other people, even ourselves? Do we say kind things about ourselves? And are we doing nice things? Do you let people merge onto the freeway and then you go, oh yeah. Or you go, oh my God, speed up, coming. Oh my God, and you do that whole and you guys get in this arm war. And you tell everybody in the office, oh my God, I was on the freeway. That is rippling. Is that rippling loving kindness? It's not. So imagine if we asked for ourselves, what am I rippling out into the world? Am I rippling loving kindness? So today, if you are seeking, if you are thirsty for fulfillment and hungry for purpose, I ask for you to trust yourself and affirm that you have the nourishment you need within yourself. Because you see, we are all magical, we are all colorful, and we are all loved, every single one of us. We just have to tune into it. And may you discover for yourself the freedom of living authentically and the possibilities for your life. And may you discover for yourself what is waking you up. Wake up and start. Wake up and start. And how you let your true colors, let your light shine. And what are you choosing to ripple out into the world? Because you see, we are all magical, colorful, and loved.